I'm Richard Drury, and I served 31 and a half years in the Air Force and basically a couple months in the Merchant Marine.
Pavone is fine. Pavone or Pavone, they're both okay.
Well, what do you prefer? What's the
Pavone is fine.
Pavone? Okay, perfect.
Well, I went from after West Point, went to flight school, and then over to France, flying B-26s. From there, temporary duty over to Korea, flying B-26s on night road reconnaissance and wrecking. It was a little scary because there was no GPS or anything like that at that time, so you just had to rely on your eyesight. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of mountains in North Korea.
I was raised up in Youngstown, Ohio, and I was going to graduate high school in 1942. In our junior year, we were ordered to sign for the draft. And at that time, of course, they showed pictures of the Army with carrying their rifles and getting in the mud and all that stuff. I particularly didn't think I'd like to do that. So I thought, well, I wouldn't mind trying to be a pilot. I'd never been near an airplane, and the only time I ever saw an airplane was when I used to go out to the airport and see them take off and land at night. That was the end of it.
Well, just a long time ago, but that was the Merchant Marines, ordinary seaman, very ordinary. And I was a youngster then. I was about, I guess, 17. And you get to England to the port, and of course the crew immediately heads off to the shore on shore leave. And I guess their primary goal then is beer, broads, and fights. And I just sort of stood back in awe watching all this go on. Fortunately, I survived all that. And we got everybody safely on board and came back to the States. But basically, as an ordinary seaman, you're scrubbing the deck, cleaning things up, or pulling in ropes, letting out lines when you're docking. That was about it.
He says, we dropped the bomb over Japan, he says. However, I just wanted to let you know that if that mission was aborted or didn't make it or canceled or for any reason, he says you were next in line. You were going to be flying that same mission that they were. And we all, whoa, wait a minute, we didn't know all of that.
And then any other message that you would like to say to other veterans?
No, just we all appreciate your service to the country, and whether it was in combat or not, you still had a mission and your accomplishment. So good for you guys, and it's been my pleasure to be part of that group.
I says, I didn't have an adult life like most of you are concerned, of going to college and being doing your thing in college. I said part of it worked out for me because of the in between time that I was from one military to the next. I said, but I enjoyed every bit of it, and I would be more than glad, if it was even possible, to do it again. I would do it all over again.